Do you want to see how to create a tag-shaped card with the new Build-A-Flower Candystripe Cosmos? Then keep watching. Hello there and Happy New Year. Michelle Short here with Terrific Tags with Michelle. Today I'm creating a tag shape card using the new Build-A-Flower Candystripe Cosmos layering stamp and die set. So let's get started. This is the beautiful new Build-A-Flower Candystripe Cosmos layering stamp and die set. You've got the beautiful cosmos flower there. You've got 3 layers for the inside, the outside petals, and then you've got various different leaves and layers for the stem and the flowers as well. And you've got some lovely sentiments included in the set. You've got all of the information as usual on the back of the package on how to take care of your stamps. And then on the inside, as always, you've got the really lovely examples that you can use for inspiration for your cards. And it tells you the different inks used and things like that as well. And then also the layering guide. And for me, this is invaluable. I use it all of the time with these Build-A-Flower stamps. And then this is the die set that you get in the set as well. So I'm starting off by stamping the outline layer first. And I'm stamping that down onto some classic Crest 110 solar white cardstock. I'm trying to be careful here to keep the stem in alignment of where it was on the stamp set. Now, I'll be honest with you, I completely failed at that point, and we'll see that a little bit later. So what I'm doing here is I'm inking up the stamp with Obsidian Pigment Ink. This is a really lovely crisp black ink. So I'm just going to stamp that down onto the cardstock, and I get a really lovely impression first time. Because this is pigment ink, it does sometimes take a little while to dry, so I'm just heat setting that with my heat tool. I don't do this all of the time, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't smear the ink. So next I can stamp the next layer, and I'm going to work on the petals first. So I'm using that layering guide to help me out to figure out where I need to place this stamp. It is quite easy once you start layering them up. I left my head in this part on purpose because I wanted to show how you really do need to kind of get right over the stamp and make sure that it's lined up. So I can just close the door of the MISTI, and then I can condition the stamp. This is the first time that I've used this stamp set, so I'm using the stamp conditioning eraser set, and you do get 3 in the set. I've just kind of wiped that over the stamp, and you can leave it as is. There's no residue or anything like that, so you can take your ink pad and stamp it up, no problem from there. But I did just wipe that off with a stamp chamois. And now I can ink up the stamp with the Cherry Blossom Crisp dye ink set. So I'm starting off with my lightest shade, which is the Pink Diamond, and I'm just making sure to get really nice coverage with that ink pad. I am using the cubes, as you can see, so it does take me a little while just to ink that up properly, and then I can just stamp that down onto the image. Next I can stamp the next layer, so I'm just taking that off of the packaging, and I'm just making sure where I can see where I need to line it up, and then I can just line that up. And I did cut my head out of the rest of it, but for all of the layers I do get right over to check that I'm going to stamp it in the right place, and I do also condition all of the stamp layering with that conditioning eraser. So I'm stamping this layer here with the Pinkalicious, and I am going to double stamp this layer because I wanted it to be a little bit darker than it is. So just making sure that that cardstock is always going to be in the bottom right hand corner, and then I can ink up the stamp again. And these are just my favourite pinks. I absolutely love the shades of pink in the Cherry Blossom collection. So next I can stamp the last layer of the petals. And again, just making sure that I'm going to line it up where it needs to be lined up. And then ordinarily I would probably go with the next shade in the collection, but I'm missing one out and going in with the darkest shade, which is the Razzleberry. I wanted the outside portions of the petals to be quite a bit darker. And I really love how kind of dramatic it ends up. So I'm just inking that up, pressing that down. And then I am going to stamp that a second time. Just like I said, I really want nice, really kind of dark outside edges. I'm then going to stamp the centre of the flowers. And for this, I'm using the Golden Sunset Crisp dye inks. And I'm starting off by stamping the Sunray colour. And then for the second layer, I'm using Snapdragon. And then for the third layer, I'm using Snapdragon again, but I am going to double stamp that just to get a darker impression. And then for the leaves, I'm using Greenfields Crisp dye inks. So I'm starting off with the lightest shade, which is the Frayed Leaf. And for all of these layers, I am going to double stamp them except for the last layer. And then going in with Forest Glades. And this is going to stamp the stem and the rest of the leaf. I really love this image. It's got some really nice kind of movement to it, I think. Kind of like it's blowing in the wind. Really pretty. So I'm just going to double stamp that layer. And then for the last layer, I'm using the Evergreen colour. And I am just going to stamp this once. This is quite a dark colour. There is another layer to the leaves, but I did miss that out, and I love that with Altenew because you can miss out layers if you want to. Now I want to die cut this image out with the die that comes in the set, but unfortunately, like I mentioned, I didn't stamp the stem in quite the right place. So when I went to die cut it out, I realised that at this point I ended up fussy cutting the image. What you could do in advance is to die cut first and then stamp, or I just wanted to show you a little trick here. What you can do is you can place the die into your stamp positioner, and then you can place the stamp that you're going to stamp inside of the die, and it kind of just fits in a bit like a puzzle piece, and then you'll be able to make sure that it's going to stamp in the right place. I should have done this originally, but I didn't think of it at the time, so I wanted to share that tip with you in case you struggle with these kind of stamps as well. You would then just stamp it down and it'd be in the right place. There's no ink on this stamp, but I just wanted to show that. So next I'm going to work on the actual card base itself, and this is the Terrific Tags die set, and I'm taking one of the largest tags, and I wanted to show you two different ways that you can create a shaped card. So this is a piece of cardstock that I have folded at the top, so similar to what you would do for a top folding card base, and then you can just kind of push the die a little bit further than the top edge of that, and then that's going to cut out to have the fold at the top, and that would make a really lovely tag shaped card. But I wanted to add some twine through the top of my card to kind of finish off the tag element, and it would get stuck, so I'm going to do it in a slightly different way. So I have cut two of the tags from white cardstock, and I want to stamp one to start with the sentiment. So I'm just placing my Candystripe Cosmos down so that I can get a placement of where I want the sentiment to be. And I'm using the stamp set here and this tiny little sentiment that says a happy hello. I thought it would work quite nicely with the flower. It's kind of like a bright and cheery flower, I think, so I thought the sentiment would work quite well. So I've just placed that in, and then I can stamp this with Obsidian Pigment Ink again, and I'm just pressing really lightly here. It's such a tiny image, I didn't want to distort it, but I am going to stamp that twice. So again, just pressing really very lightly on that image. And then I'm taking the other tag and I'm going to use the Crafter's Essential Bone folder and a scoreboard here. And I'm just making a score line just underneath where that hole is in the tag. And that's going to work as a hinge for me to be able to open and close the card. So I can adhere them kind of back to back, and that would be the back piece, and then like you can see here it's going to open and close really nicely. So I can just add some adhesive onto that top part of the tag there, just using some glue tape. And then I can line up the two tags as best as possible, and then just adhere them together. And I really love this method for lots of different shaped cards. You could do this with a circle, you could do it with a heart shaped card, loads of different shapes. It all works really well using this hinge method. And it's also going to stand up really nicely as well. So I've taken my Candystripe Cosmos image here and I'm adding some instant dimension foam tape onto the back of that. I don't want to have foam tape on the pieces that are going to overlap the tag, so I just made sure there that I'm not going to add the foam tape at the two sides. And then I can just remove the backings of that foam tape with the micro tip tweezers. And I can also use the tweezers just to help me out with the placement here so that I can add it onto the tag. Well, it's actually a card now, isn't it? So I can take my time just to place that where I want it to be. I want the bottom of the stem just to kind of overhang slightly so that it looks like the flower is kind of growing from the bottom of the tag. And then I can just cut that little piece off at the bottom with some scissors. And just push that down really well. And then I can embellish with some cherry blossom enamel dots. I thought I would go with the darkest shade here in the collection. I really love these enamel dots. I just absolutely love the colour and they work perfectly with the inks. I'd love to hear your thoughts on shaped cards. Do you make them often? Do you like receiving them? I really think they're quite fun to make, something a little bit different, and this card in particular where it's shaped as a tag, I think it is just something a little different instead of sending like a standard A2 size card. So I'm just adding some twine through the top here. And this was the part that meant that I couldn't do the original method for making the tag card, but I do like how the hinge method works as well. So I'm just placing that twine through and tying it in a bow at the front. And that's my tag shaped card finished for today. Like I said, it can work with lots of different shapes of cards as well. Links to the products that I used will be in the description bar on YouTube and also over on the Altenew blog. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.